Hello, this is Annette with Project Refine Life. Welcome to my channel. So this is day 4 of Tarot Vlogmas 2021, hosted by Papa Squirrel. Now today is a deep question. So the question for today is, what is the least favorite card in the deck and why? Now I don't have a least favorite card within the deck. But this is a difficult question because it really does touch home for me. And it's a deep question, especially when it refers to this specific card. So as you can see here, I have the Three of Swords. Both the Three of Swords from the Sasuraibito tarot, which depicts this woman as getting stabbed through the heart, from the back into the heart. And she's bearing with this pain. She's clearly not dead, but she is bearing with this pain. And then here we have the Three of Swords from the Stunning Tarot. Okay, so let's get into this a little bit. This is pretty deep for me. The Three of Swords is a representation of grief, of either being stabbed in the back by somebody, feeling betrayed. But for me, it really speaks volumes of grief. Now, this channel, Project Refine Life, even before there was a YouTube channel, there was Project Refine Life. And Project Refine Life was born out of my healing through grief. Now, I've talked about this plenty of times, so I'm just going to rehash for some of you who may be new to my channel. The reason for Project Refine Life is because I'm the project. I'm the project. I needed to refine my life because of grief. I lost my son when he was 17 years old. He and his best friend were killed by a drunk driver. Now, I had a healthy, beautiful, loving young man, and he was taken from me. That shifted and changed the entire course of my life. It was a rude awakening to this life that you have planned for yourself, the way that you see things going, and then being taught by life that that is not the way that it works. I was in so much pain. I couldn't even breathe. I always talk about breath within my classes and remind myself that the importance of breathe, because I couldn't even breathe. I felt like taking the next breath was so difficult. This is a deep, this goes so deep. And I knew when I saw this question that it was going to be a deep inquiry, a deep thought process. And I'm trying not to get too intensive within this particular video, but I want you to know the depth of this card for me. So when I see the Three of Swords, it reminds me of that grief. Now, when I say reminds, that is not to mean that I am past that grief, because grief like that is everlasting. It is a continual walk with grief. You just learn how to navigate it. I don't know that I will ever get past that. I don't think that that is possible. I'm sorry, I was interrupted by a phone call. Didn't put my phone on mute. I was talking about grief. Okay, so I don't think that I can ever get past that grief, but I've learned to walk with it. I've learned to navigate through it. and have it be part of who I am and who I have become. Because of that grief, I left the career that I was in. I really didn't see how that applied to my life anymore. Um, and because of that, I am where I am today. I'm teaching yoga. I'm a Reiki teacher. I'm into this spiritual practice. I have studied so many things. I have um, this mindset of continuing to learn and always being the student and never knowing everything. It has put me into a completely different frame of mind. And because of that, I view things differently. Life is so short, it's so precious, it's so beautiful. And, we all have, I always put it as we all come in with a certain amount of things to do and accomplish. That is the only way that I could get through my grief, is to know that my son had completed what he needed to do. It was faith. It was complete faith that he came here and he did what he needed to do. And it was his time to move on to another face, to another body, so that he can continue his lesson somewhere else or for someone else. That's the only way that I could get through it. So the Three of Swords, when I see the Three of Swords, it's deep. And it's not that I don't like the card. I do like the card. So when you talk about your least favorite card, it's not my least favorite card, but it's the one that really digs in deep. This woman here in the Sasuraibito, she is dealing with the grief. She is walking through the grief. And it's so deep to me looking at her. She's looking at it. She understands the wounds. Her hands are open. She's looking down, but she's not on the ground. She is not letting this take her down. She is aware of the complexity of the situation. And she's looking at how she can continue. Now, if you look at the Stunning Tarot, her head is above water. Despite the grief, her head is above water. And that's just so deep to me. It's so, just gets me. It really does get me. Now, this is going to be probably one of the deepest questions that we're going to find within this particular series of Vlogmas. But I feel like this is an important tale to tell, because it makes people maybe understand where I'm coming from a little bit more. But this whole spiritual practice, the way that it is, the way that it looks for me today, my life, the way it is today, is because of the grief that I suffered. It's because of the learning, because of the growing, because of the expanding, because of that need to get to the next breath, to continue on, to keep my head above water, to understand the depth and complexity of this wound, of this grief, of what I'm going to carry with me and continue anyway. So although it may be maybe the deepest card for me within the deck, it is also a card that invokes this feeling of this passion for life and to continue. So that is a kind of a long and short story of my version of my least favorite card in the deck and why, but it's really not the least favorite. It just makes me think the most. It just really draws me back, because there's never a day that I don't think about him, that I don't think about what he would be doing today and how my life would be different. There's not a day that that doesn't happen. But I'm always thankful every day for the growth that happened as a result of that and where I am today. And I know that if he was here today, he would completely agree with who I am, where I am, and what I'm doing. I know that 100%. I think you would be proud. So this one is for you, Michael. I love you so much. Thank you very much for watching today. I know this was an emotional one, but I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching. And if you found any value from this, if it touches you at all, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.